I just think it's like, although, like, obviously, like, apples and oranges, but like Warren Buffett and his kids, and he gave them all truckloads of cash, but because none of them did paid work, they set up foundations and did great, meaningful work.
Which is awesome.
Yeah. So like, if he was up for that stuff,
it's so much about impressing values. I'm not even sure that the money, it like is a thing, because I meet dickheads that are poor and I meet dickheads that are rich.
Yeah.
I think, and I meet entitled poor people and I meet entitled rich people.
Yeah.
But I think if your parents are solid and they teach you like good values and like just to treat people with kindness before you like pass judgment and stuff.
Yeah.
I think it goes such a long way.
Yeah. Yeah, it is definitely more down to the individual.
Yeah.
I do worry about it a bit though. It does play on my mind.
It's pretty privileged worry to have, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Is it? Nice problem.
Yeah. In this environment, he's not going to be that rich.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all subjective.
Yeah.
There'll be plenty of kids that have come from like ridiculous, families with Gucci wraps on their BMW.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's never gonna have that dad. But it's like, I just hope that he takes like some of the outlooks on money and how to talk about it, etc. From myself anyway.
But your money behaviours are not working class or upper class.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to describe it. They're like self-made money behaviours. A bit like Ben, where it's like you kind of treat money like it's abundant, but it's a resource, and with respect. And you'd need that whether you were rich or poor.
Yeah.
But it's almost like it's a source of energy. It's a fun token. It's like what allows you to. But I think a lot of people treat it as the end goal, and that's where they like rich or poor, and then that really hurts them.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
And I totally like that's said from a position of privilege, because I've been in that family as of you, where it's all right to say that, but if you haven't got any money, everything else is much harder. And like
it is. It's like when people say like money doesn't make you happy, and to be honest, I used to say that to people, all the time when I was like really like broke, like coming up in the first business, but it wasn't anything like, it was exactly what I believed.
Yeah.
And it was because, albeit that I hated my first business and running it, that I felt like I was always happy when I was around my family and my closest friends. So I was so happy in those moments that my assumption was that money doesn't make you happy. And I think there is a caveat to that like if you don't have like connection either with family or friends, or like personal relationships, I feel are the things that affect happiness more than anything.
Oh, it'd be ridiculously difficult if you didn't just have that person you could visit and give a cuddle.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
100%.
Like my mum's side of the family, there's dysfunctional elements to my family, as is any family. But my nan lived 200 metres from our house with my granddad, and my aunties and uncles all lived nearby. And at any one time, there would be someone in that house that you could go around, give a cuddle, and just have a cup of tea and a chat with.
Yeah.
Some people don't have that.
Yeah.
And like that must be.
Yeah, 100%. But with money actually affecting happiness, I feel like 80% of it is removing stress, and that's what allows for the room for more happiness to occur.
My highest stress trigger is money.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, because the responsibilities I have to certain, Hannah, house, family. If you can't do those things, not as a man, as a human, you start to lose your purpose and your value a little bit, because you're like, well, normally I'd just sort that out, and now I can't.
Yeah.
I can make that problem go away normally, and now I can't, and that's not. I can see how that's not a nice feeling for anyone when they.
Yeah.
Where like the opposite of that, when you can like I don't know if I told you, our roof collapsed whilst I was last in America, so 4 weeks ago.
You didn't say that.
No, so we had like biblical rain on the Saturday, and I wasn't getting back till the Sunday, and the roof fell in on the house.
Oh my days.
So the house flooded, and Hannah didn't tell me till I got back because she didn't want to stress me out, and I felt awful because she couldn't tell me.
Yeah.
And then obviously it was just got back and rang a roofer and paid for it in his fees.
Yeah. Is that the old if you can write a check to solve the problem, then you never had the problem in the first place type thing?
Yeah. And it was like 4 days of disruption. And
Yeah.
They fried our electrics by accident, but they put that right.
Yeah.
And Hannah was like, why aren't you getting more stressed about this? And I was like, because it would only be stressful if we couldn't afford to fix it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But we can.
Mhm.
And if worse comes to worse, we can stay in a hotel for 4 nights.
Yeah.
So I totally appreciate how privileged that is, but I mean, this is essentially the podcast now, right? So,
Yeah.
Like, I love being able to give clients that, where it's like, yeah, you want to scale your business, yeah, you want to have impact in your industry, but ultimately you want to sit around the table at dinner with your family and be like, this weekend we're going to do this,
Yeah.
and it's not a problem. Or next summer we're going to go on this trip, and it's not a problem. Or at Christmas, the new Xbox has come out, and your kid wants it, and it's not a problem. But like, regardless of the morals around whether you should give kids everything they want, all that, but just like, it's no longer a problem. The problem is now making the moral decision on the purchase, nothing to do with the ability to make the purchase. And if you can give clients that, you've got a client for life.
Yeah. See how, like, you really have your finger on the pulse with stuff like investing, just like managing money and stuff like that. Like, we're both very aligned with that. Do you have something that like springs to mind as like, whether it was really recent or in the last like 4 years or 5 years, what was one thing that you did regardless of knowing that it was a terrible like long-term financial decision?
I do stuff all the time that's a terrible financial decision.
But you just do them because it's like, it's experience, it's
Yeah.
it's for the right person.
Yeah, like Hannah obviously spent some time in a wheelchair for 3 months, end of last year into this year. I was like, right now, I probably can't afford to do this when I made the decision, but she needs it. So I went and booked the Borneo trip in the rainforest, and was like, if anything's going to get her out of that wheelchair and walking again, it's something tangible that she can see, that's in the diary, that's paid for, that she hasn't got to worry about, and also the positive pressure on me to then go, well, I don't want to fly economy if we're going to fly for 19 hours, and I don't want her to have to stay in a mud hut, and like, so that was financially a mental decision. That 12 grand or whatever it was could gone in a fund, or like put a new roof on the house before it caved in, or whatever. But I always, in the back of my mind, particularly since I've worked with you and I worked with Ben Knight, the Trade Tribe, always in the back of my mind is I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. So, but I do know if I'm still alive tomorrow, I can make more money. So if there's something I want to do, why wouldn't I do it?
Yeah.
That's not to say I'm like ridiculous. Like, I don't just spunk money up the wall on. Well, there's an argument that I do that too. But I don't. Like, there's always an emergency fund. Like, I'm cautious in the sense that I know I've got responsibilities. Like, me and you as a leadership team for Codebreak have had discussions about how big does the war chest need to be, and like, what's the contingency fund if half the clients left overnight, which sounds like so overcautious. But that's happened to me twice in business in 15 years. So, because there was obviously COVID was one, and then business partner was the other. So,
not with me.
No, not with you. What about you though? Because I watch, like, I would think it's fair to say you live a fairly modest life comparable to your income.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, nice house and live in an expensive place to live, but then like you don't have like a flash car, you don't wear flash clothes, you don't like. Obviously, you're in a space where a lot of people do have flash cars and flash clothes. Like, where's that come from? Because I think like I've seen glimpses of like when you've tried to talk about 6-star experience and you weren't sure whether that was a material thing or a feeling.
Yeah.
And you've definitely come back towards it being a feeling.
Yeah.
So.
Well, basically every single thing that happens across every day and every week is a little bit of a financial decision here and there. And when people know that, like, the first thing I do when I get up and have a shower and grab a coffee before I get started on work, I watch CNBC for 20 minutes and see if there's any changes in stock market, what's coming up this week in terms of CPI reports, That stuff really interests me, but I enjoy it. Like, I don't feel stressed by it. Like, I was just saying to Ben there, I was like, all stocks on my watch list are down like 2.5%. I was like, brilliant, right?
Yeah.
Like down 2.5% just means that we can buy some more. Great. So like, so many things in my day-to-day life I think about to make a good financial decision for a longer term outcome. But most people, when they hear that, like, I sometimes joke about it even as a justification, like, doesn't mean I'm tight. Because the crazy thing is that people are like, all right, so you eat Uber Eats like 2 or 3 times a day for like the whole family. And that doesn't mean like McDonald's and stuff. It means like getting like really good, high quality food delivered to the door, even though it costs more.
Yeah.
Literally have AC on, etc., 24/7 inside the house. The house at the end of the day is like a house in the best part of Orlando with a pool. You know what I mean? Like, so like, I'm certainly not tight when it's like, when it affects the people around me. I personally would rather, like, if I'm the only person that can be affected by it, I'd usually take that money and put it into investments.
Because you find more enjoyment from
That's it. It's an enjoyment thing. It's a trade-off thing. I get more excitement out of when there is like a big uptick in the market and like a company that I bought goes up 12% in one day. I'm just like, it's brilliant. It's like the gamification of just like the number at the top of the app is like the thing, because the money doesn't really mean anything like materialistic to me. There isn't a goal that I have. Like, I'm so happy where we are. We have one car, I like it, and like I even said to Adria, I was like, we've got a son, and it's the safest car in the road. There's literally no point in replacing it.
I think my truck's safer.
You think? I think it's got some deaths attached to it, but Volvo XC40 does not.
It's unbelievable, the Volvo safety record.
Yeah, it's so good.
But also, like, it's interesting because, and I'm like this with vehicles as well. Like, my reason's not safety because it's only me in it, but my reason is sound system. But like, Volvos carry a bit of a bad rap because they were considered a bit boring, but they're not anymore. They're like a lovely car.
Yeah, and to your point, and this again is where like there's trickles of like it wasn't a financial decision, is when we bought the car, they were like, oh, if you pay $3,000 more, you get the better sound system. And I had never heard of this before, but there's a brand, you would probably know it, starts with an H, it's 2 words, I don't know what it is. But anyway, it's meant to be like an incredible sound system. The guy took us into like a car to show us.
Carden.
That's the one.
That's what's in.
So like literally like that brand is right throughout the inside of the car, but the bass on it is incredible, and you have control over like the bass, so like you can change how songs literally sound in the car.
Yeah, rattles your insides.
Oh man, and the car literally vibrates. Not when Luke is in it.
Yeah, of course.
But like when I'm driving on my own to like a haircut or something, that is like pounding. But that's like $3,000 it wasn't a good financial decision, but it was an enjoyment decision. And I was like, I'll probably own this car for like 10 years.
Yeah, exactly that. Like, the car I'm getting when I get back isn't particularly expensive because it's a 1-year-old electric car and they depreciate like mad. But it's got, I think it's a 38 speaker hardened cardon sound system. And part of the feature is it deliberately vibrates the seats with the music for like a 4D experience.
Cool.
And I was like, yeah, sold.
Yeah.
But because I spend, like, in the last 2 weeks, I think I've done nearly 10,000 miles in the car, which is like wild.
Yeah.
But I've just done so many miles recently, like just long drives talking to myself. And in between those spells of having ideas and chatting to ChatGPT, I just put playlist on and crank it, and like, one, keep myself awake, and two, that's where my like flow state is like when I'm like not thinking about work is where my best work ideas come from.
You do so much traveling, like in terms of driving to like speak on stages and different things. That car's 2.5 years old now, and I just saw we're just over 2,000 miles on it.
Yeah, that's unreal.
That's bananas, right?
Like, I did that in the last 3 days of last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, literally, like, last weekend, so, yeah, the weekend before we flew out here, I drove Josh to Edinburgh. The days before that, I'd been in London, Leicester, Birmingham, Manchester. We did Edinburgh, came back in the same weekend, then I went to Manchester, came back, then I went to South Shields, which is a 5.5-hour drive, came back, then I drove to Heathrow, and then flew out. And it's just like, and like, people are like, well, how'd you do it? Well, I've got to. Like, I live in rural England, like 2 hours from the nearest airport.
What do you do in the car all that time?
I have ideas. Ideas. Like, my ChatGPT knows me better than knows anyone on the planet.
Because you're just bouncing back and forth?
Yeah, and then I drop it out of ChatGPT into Claude, into my project, and the project gets better and better and better.
And that happens whilst you're driving?
Yeah.
I guess you automate that.
I've just created the automation on Siri.
You're not like,
like
late at night.
I've created the automation on Siri, so I just press the like speak button on the steering wheel, chat to ChatGPT.
Oh my days, yeah.
Finish the conversation, press the speak button, give it the trigger word to run the automation to take that conversation and put it into Claude.
Yeah.
And then I get back to my desk and there's like, oh right, I can play with that project now and see what comes out the other side. That's how I build the modules in the AI course. That's like.
Do you find that doing that much brainstorming with it and having so many like days of the week where you have like hours to brainstorm and bounce on ideas, does it reduce the amount of time that you have to work because it solves problems, or does it increase the amount of work because it gives you more things to do?
So I think the best thing for me to do is to do 3 hours of brainstorming and only come out with one thing. Like one very specific thing that solves a constraint that I've got, whether it's like, oh, this is what I need to say to Martha, or this is what I need to say to my mum, or like, this is what I need to do with the locks on the office, as opposed to, oh, I've come up with a shiny new idea and I'm going to ring Neil and we're going to completely reinvent the business, because I think that's dangerous.
Yeah.
I think that's like if you've got a good thing, don't change it.
Yeah.
But I've got an overactive imagination, and it used to be a bit of a force for evil. Like, it would put me in an anxious state and get me wound up, and you'd go down the rabbit hole of like getting fixated on those thoughts. And I've just flipped my perspective on it and gone, well, what if that was a force for good? And I just have conversations with myself about things I'm interested in.
Yeah.
And it won't necessarily be work. Sometimes we literally did a pub quiz the other night, and I wasn't, like, not in an arrogant sense, I wasn't overly surprised that my team won the pub quiz, because I spend hours talking to myself about random shit that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
And find out stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's better than thinking about things that make me feel shit.
Yeah.
And then some people are able to switch their mind off and just calm and like relax. I can't do that. So I might as well put it to work.
Yeah.
And like, even like yesterday I was in the parks with Ryan, and we were at Disney, and you could build your own lightsaber. I mean, I could have spent 6 hours in that space thinking about all the different combinations, not even that bothered about having a lightsaber, but the marketing part of my brain went, this is brilliant. This is like pick and mix for adults who are nerds. And then I'm like, how do I piece these bits together? And then my head goes, well, if it's $275 for this lightsaber, what combination of pieces get me the most value?
Mm-hmm.
Still no intention of buying it really, but just like that's where my brain goes. And then I deconstruct that and go, right, what happened from me coming through the gate in the park to the point where I'm in this shop that has influenced my decision to make me think I want to spend $275 on a lightsaber that will sit on the shelf for the rest of my life and has no resale value. And then I go, oh, wow, they did this and they did this, and I went on this ride and we saw them play with lightsabers. And then I'm like, yeah, that's by design, it must be.
Yeah.
And that's just how, like, I think if you've got a slightly agitated mind, that's a good way to kind of feed it.
Yeah.
And then I sleep all right.
Mm. And with that one, like, if this was just like, if this was shopping on Amazon, the lightsaber would be worth like $39.99 or something like that. But in the right environment, around the right stuff, with the right rides, with the right triggers, it goes from standalone product to product plus experience.
Yeah. And I had that exact moment when I got back last night. So I said to Ryan, I won't buy it because I think I'm being pulled in.
Yeah.
And if I still want it on Saturday, I'll go back and get it. And then I researched them and found a model company that makes replicas better than Disney's replicas of their own lightsabers, and they cost less than what Disney charge in the park, and that dumbed it down for me straight away. I went, oh, okay, I can breathe now.
Yeah.
Like, it's like
because they don't have the experience.
Yeah, and or the overhead, I guess. Like there's quite a lot, and so I was like, oh, the marketing lesson there is amazing. Like you can sell someone exactly something worse for a lot more, purely because of where you are. Like Ellie had a cocktail in the cantina there, and at the end the waitress said, would you like to keep the cup? And it did come in this like beautiful carved Star Wars thing, and Ellie was, oh, how much is it? And they were like $50. I was like, it's a plastic cup.
Yeah.
Like,
well, what do you think to Disney, like, where do you think they'll be in like 25 years?
I think they've slipped.
Yeah.
I think they've slipped. What about you?
I'm of the exact same mindset. I could see an uproar coming. So we're Disney Pass holders, obviously. And to be honest, this year, when we renewed, we went for the second best passes last year for the first time when we moved here. Luca's a little bit older now, so a little bit more aware of the experience side of things. But we're also just like, we've experienced really wanting to go to Disney on a certain day for the family, and being like, we can't go to Disney because we're blacked out for the next 10 days because it's around Christmas or whatever it may be. So we went for the more expensive one, but it is about $2,500 per person.
Yeah, we looked at that. We were like, Neil's got the annual passes. Let's look at what this costs for a Florida resident.
It's craziness.
Because I was thinking, if I'm coming to see Neil 3 times a year, should I just buy an annual pass?
Yeah. It doesn't make sense.
Not nearly on the lower one.
Yeah.
So if I only came in non-blackout times, probably it's like $835 a head, I think, which is $650 a head just for 2
well,
weeks.
if you were doing 3 trips and then you were going to 3 parks, then
you're laughing.
Yeah, now you're in the money.
But 2.5, you've got to get some use out of
Yeah,
it.
you definitely do. Like we did the maths on it and it made complete sense, because especially when the weather gets to where it's going now, where it's like bearable for like a British person, it's like
you can spend a whole day there calmly.
Yeah, but you also like, so like Luca gets up from his nap at like 1:30, like we're just like, what do you want to do for the afternoon? Let's get him in the car, let's go to Disney. And because you've got the passes, like we would never make a decision to go and spend $400 on park tickets for 2 hours.
Yeah.
But we would happily hop in the car with our passes and go for 1 hour if we had it. Yeah. Because it's like, it's a trip, gets him out the house.
Mid-November, when there's no one in the park and it's still 24 degrees outside.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like for a little one to be able to just do that.
Yeah.
Where I think they've slipped, and I'd say the same with Apple. So like Disney and Apple, like going back to investing, normally safe bet. They're like pretty solid companies. Is I noticed as we were wandering around the park that a lot of stuff was very samey, and it never used to be. It used to be a bit more individualized.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing the same with Apple product releases, where like the iPhone has not changed for probably 7 generations now, and they're trying to sell you on spec. But if they're trying to sell you on spec, they're just doing what all the other phone companies do.
Yeah.
And Disney's getting. I guess it's kind of born out of this whole like multiverse thing, where like going to do Avengers, and it's a cardboard cut out film. Yeah, they're big budget, but we do the same thing every time. And they did it with Star Wars, and they've been burnt, I think, with Star Wars. But I see it in the parks a little bit too, where I'm like wandering around, and I'm like, oh, you've introduced alcohol into most of the parks now. That's interesting. Like, what are you trying to squeeze more money out of people with that? Because it definitely changes the environment when people are drunk around you.
Oh, big time.
And then, like, they've introduced a lot of reservation systems for, like, dining experiences that aren't character breakfasts. And I'm like, oh, you're trying to squeeze a bit of extra cash out of people. And WWE's another one that's done it recently, the wrestling. So they got bought out by TKO, who own UFC, gone completely commercial. So it's like a family of 4 could not afford to go and watch wrestling live anymore. Okay, that's your prerogative. Like, you run your business how you want to run your business. But then there's backlash now, and they're getting half-empty stadiums, and then a half-empty stadium means that not as many people tune in on Netflix to watch it. And so the holistic marketing thing is being lost to accountants, I guess. And I think like Bob Iger, the Disney CEO, is under a lot of pressure because they're doing paint by numbers promotion and not thinking about what nobody right now knows when like the next Lion King is going to be.
Yeah.
Because they're going to go with one of their safe bets.
Yeah. They're 1,000,000% squeezing out, like, these passes went up again, but they don't match inflation. They go up like 8%, 9%, 10% a year. And my wife is in the like annual pass holder Facebook group.
Yeah.
And that is just non-stop, like from people who are willing to spend thousands per year, sorry. It's also the same group of people are willing to spend their evenings shitting all over Disney continuously inside the group, going crazy. And like at the end of the day, the experience, the people that work at Disney that you see, the actual experience itself is still great.
Amazing, yeah.
So it's complete world class. But your super fans are now the people who scream about you taking advantage.
Yeah,
and it's a change.
Even on the like 14-day pass, the amount of people on these tourism websites that are saying, oh, you used to get this, but you don't get that anymore. You used to get this, but you don't get that anymore.
Yeah.
They used to do Genie Plus, so you could book your rides throughout the day, not have to queue. They don't do that anymore. You've got to buy a Lightning Lane pass. And suddenly it's like, I completely understand the commercial logic of that, or the accounting logic of that, but they've lost the feeling. They've lost that like intangible thing of like, this used to feel just really magic.
Yeah.
And like easy.
Yeah.
And like I've been to other theme parks where I had to queue all day, and you didn't have to do that at Disney, and now you do.
Yeah.
And
no, everything money-wise is getting very forced and in the public eye, and it's almost like weird.
yeah.
And you know how they bought ESPN,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they've like really struggled to work out how to like monetize it and everything. About 2 months ago, they changed it where when you go onto Disney Plus, the app on your TV, all of the things at the top are no longer like Stitch and this,
Yeah.
that, and everything at the top is ESPN, like live sports on Disney Plus on the
Yeah.
app. And it's so weird. I go on it to put on Bluey for my son, and like I have to like scroll through like all of like the college football
Yeah.
to get to it, and it's kind of like, this is now becoming like
It's like Sky or Fox over here.
They're so good. They're such a great company because of their ability to charge astronomical prices on everything compared to everybody else, and you almost just eat it and go, and Disney is the best. But now it feels like they've been like, we don't need any smoking whatever now. We can just basically, we can pull this lever because you're still going to pay it. And it's
Yeah.
almost just like that attitude,
Do you
it
think
feels
that's
like.
almost like maybe the tale of Walt Disney's death to now? I mean, I know he had his problems and stuff, but he was very much about experience first and people come. And like, again, Steve Jobs, same kind of guy, like had big problems around like his leadership technique and like how he spoke to people. But it was magic first, then everything else. And now they've both become money first because ultimately they answer to shareholders, and it takes one hell of an ego on a CEO to tell shareholders to shut up.
Oh yeah.
I just wonder if they're like losing sight of that. Like, actually, if we make something that's so unbelievably good, people will pay anything for it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of it. Like, it's only 20 years ago nobody would have spent $1,000 on a phone, and now everybody spends $1,000 on a phone once a year.
Yeah.
Not everybody, but a lot of people. But it's the same phone.
For a slightly longer battery life and a camera that was already
Very
dynamite that apparently is slightly better.
Yeah, or like people will go to the cinema and watch Avengers, and then they'll go to the cinema and watch the sequel to Avengers, which is exactly the same as Avengers.
Yeah.
And I like totally get that people enjoy that, but where's the magic?
Yeah.
And I think like you could apply that to lots of business where a lot of people see these like template, like jigsaw type, this is how to run a business, and they forget like to bring their individual spark
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah.
Well, like, obviously your business and our business has both got a lot of like little Easter eggs about them that kind of makes it fun for us. Like,
Yeah.
it's like the joy, like there has to be some joy in it.
If we had shareholders, Codebreak would be
Horrific.
done. It would have broken.
Yeah. Well, no one would do what we've done. No one,
Yeah.
we wouldn't be here.
Yeah, and for context, for anybody watching, like we're recording in Orlando, Florida right now, but every single member of staff who was available to do so
Is here.
got flown out in a massive Airbnb with a heated pool over a beautiful, beautiful area, Disney passes all included, food etc. all included, that type of stuff. Imagine like trying to tell shareholders at a shareholder meeting, like, this is what we're going to do. As soon as they become a public company, it's basically ran by economists,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Just bottom line,
And
top line,
experience
bottom line,
gets
top
taken
line.
out of it completely. So it's like, where can we save 10%? And it's like, well, actually, if you save 10% there, then you lose 40% over here. And so it doesn't math.
Yeah.
You think it maths, but it doesn't math.
Yeah, but they don't know that.
Yeah.
And because they're not certain of that, they'd rather be certain of what they're saying.
Yeah.
And like I sat down the team and said, I totally appreciate this seems mental that we're taking you to Orlando. I was like, but just let's look at the bigger picture. I was like, if I was being completely ruthless, look at the optics of a company taking all of their team to Orlando. It's not going to put people off us. And then I'm like, look at the chance of you wanting to stay at Codebreak for longer, or
Yeah.
on the chance that there might be another trip like this next year, and then look at the opportunity to spend time together away from our laptops and
Yeah.
understand who we are as people and what makes us tick, and like how we rub each other up the wrong way, how we rub each other up the right way, like how much fun it is to wind up the boss when he stood in a queue for 2 hours, all that kind of thing. Martha. So it's, and actually on that, there's like a really touching moment yesterday that I couldn't buy. So Martha and me have very, very similar personalities. So it can be like, we're like brother and sister. It could be we could either kill each other or like love each other to bits, and there's no in between. And obviously we're both tired, so we're kind of winding each other up a little bit on this trip. And then I was like, when we went on Tower of Terror, Martha was scared, and I was like, I want to sit by Martha, like a bit protective, but I want to sit by Martha. And when the thing shot up and then starts falling, she didn't know it was coming, absolutely pooed her pants, and she just grabbed my arm like I was her big brother, and I just knew she felt okay. And I was like, okay, I know we've got it right.
Yeah.
Like, I know we're okay.
Yeah.
And you can't buy that. And no accountant, economist, bloody bookkeeper can tell. Like, the whole trip is worth it just for that moment to me.
Yeah.
Because she knows I've got her back. I know, I already knew she'd got my back. And like, she's also like the OG in the business. She's the longest serving member of the team. She's brought her boyfriend out with her on this trip. Like, you know, we're happy to have him. And like, no one's telling me that that's a bad decision. No, like, not like, to be honest, even if this went wrong and I had to pay for it out of my own pocket, fine.
Yeah. And by the way, for anybody listening to this, when the opportunity came up to buy into Codebreak and to partner with Joel, which I was so excited about, because I always said to Joel, like, I'd love to work with Joel directly because I get on so well with him. But the only two conditions that we were fully aligned on, this was not a discussion, this was like, yes. The only two conditions were, number one, we need to take the entire team to Disney. And then second of all, this needs to be fun.
Yeah.
And I was actually thinking, when I was in the car coming over here, I was actually thinking, imagine if you tried to sell half the business to literally anybody else with that pitch.
Caveat. So I'm more than happy to, like, I won't go into the numbers because that's weird, but the dynamic of the situation was, I told you everything that was bad about the business.
Yeah.
And then two weird caveats.
Yeah. And the caveats had nothing to do with profit, making money, anything like that.
Yeah, I literally a massive email, to be fair, when we were getting close. It's like, Neil, this is everything that's wrong with the business. Here's the loans we've got. Here's like the staff members that are troublesome. Here's like overhanging things that you might want to consider. Oh, and by the way, if we're doing this, these are the two things. These are the two non-negotiables.
Yeah.
And that was probably, like, because I know you, that's probably the best interaction we had across that thing. But like, business doesn't have to be that complicated. And like, especially, I totally, like, only 1% of people in business are probably should be there. Like, that's a rough thing to say, but if you know you've got it about you to the point where, like, you know how to make money, you're not afraid to make sales, you're not afraid to sell your own service, you're not afraid to, like, get into confrontation because that's inevitable, then the rest of your job is as a leader is to make it engaging. And fun might be a way of making it engaging. Clarity could be another way, like expertise could be another way, but I really find it, like, baffling when you meet people who can't do the fundamental bits of business, so they can't make sales, or they, like, won't pick up the phone, or they won't get in the car and drive 5 hours for an event that could change their business's trajectory, but they make demands of everything else, like the lifestyle that comes with it. I'm like, well, you have to do both. Like, I can't say to you, this has got to be fun, but we're not going to make any money. It won't be fun. Neil, we have to go to Disney, even if we haven't got any money. You've got to put more money in.
Yeah. No, I'm 100% in the same mindset, and we do, but even if we didn't make money out of it, to be honest, it would still be good as long as it was comfortable, everything was paid.
Yeah.
And if we got great time to hang out together, to work on fun projects, work with great people, like, everybody that works in the business now is just, like, so aligned, and it's just, like, it's so amazing to see everybody, like, working together.
To the point where I think people would think we were mad.
Yeah.
Like, I think traditional business owners would walk into our office and sometimes see how the staff talk to me and be like, this is unhinged. But I know they respect me and they know I respect them.
Yeah.
But they can say terrible things to me and carry
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
Like, I think Josh made a joke when we were on the plane. He was like, Joel fired me 3 times before I even started my job because he'd have said something disgraceful in the group chat, and I'm going, Josh, you're fired.
Yeah.
Like, but they get it.
Yeah.
They get it, and they know when I'm serious. Like, they know if it's like, right, we need to go and have a chat.
Yeah.
Versus, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, it's, like, there's a little bit of like that leadership thing around praise in public and criticise in private, and we don't have that in our business, because actually all criticism is constructive, and if you're going to learn the lesson, so is everybody else, because that will make us stronger as a business.
Yeah.
And it's not personal.
Yeah.
And I'm still going to buy you dinner tonight. And
that's more like the Ray Dalio way of doing it.
yeah,
Like everybody needs to come in with, I mean, it's kind of like positioned as like thick skin, but it's almost like he makes very clear to everybody in the company that everybody's ideas are to be heard. The one with the most believability is the one that wins. Like on the subject point in the end, but everybody gets to put their case forward, positive and negative in all situations.
yeah,
And that's what I kind of feel is like in Codebreak, like when we have like our Monday sessions, and we all get to like share what's working, what we need to improve, and things like that. And there's so much of that session is spent like laughing,
oh yeah. And
but
like,
but it's productive.
a character like Martha, and she won't mind me saying, would potentially get fired somewhere else, and that would be their mistake.
Oh, big time.
Because she is willing to say things that other employees wouldn't say.
Yeah.
And it does cause friction sometimes,
Yeah.
but that friction is where the solutions come from.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh shit, if she thinks that, something's not quite right.
Yeah.
Whether she's wrong or right, it doesn't matter. But she is willing, well, more than willing, to tell me I'm wrong sometimes.
Yeah.
And like, you can't put a price on that. It's like, actually, she's like, got it about her to say, like, no, you're being a dick. Like, and sort it out. And,
Yeah.
you know, in a small business, that's really necessary. Sometimes, like, I'm quite restrained, but there can be you know, every business owner has a time when they start to believe their own hype and stuff, and you do need people around you to humble you.
Yeah.
And, like, Martha is good at that.
I've always loved that side. Like when you've got like strong people who are clearly like very switched on as well. Jen and Emma, but even more so Jen, who you know.
Yeah,
the
she
coach.
cut you down to size straight away.
She is like the most direct talker ever, and I love it. And she always like says everything with like, and I'm really sorry if I sound like I'm being negative, and I'm always like, I'm straight back, I'm like, I love that you brought this up. Thank you so much for bringing it to my attention. This goes top of the list. I'm going to focus on this. We're going to fix it. This is what I think we should do. What do you think we should do? Do you think we should do the same thing that I'm thinking, or did you have any other idea? Like, I just want to know inside other people's brains, like, what are you seeing that I'm not? Like, do you not feel like it's like buying IP for the business?
Yeah.
Like these employees, if you will, are in the business and being able to deliver a great product. It's almost like, what a bonus that we get to like know what's in their head.
Yeah.
When they're in an environment where they know they can voice things.
And like, we pick people, particularly this last round of recruitment, who are a little bit spicy. Like, it's like, let's bring people in who will say what they think and will cut us down to size.
Yeah.
Because that's, well, to be honest, we've experienced the opposite, where you bring people in who tick all the boxes, got all the qualifications, got the skill set, but they're just not willing to put themselves out there. And
I thought Sel hated me on her onboarded.
Did you? Yeah.
I was like,
she's terrifying.
I was like, is she annoyed to be here?
Yeah.
but it's like, now I just learned that it's her humor. It's like, it's literally the way that she does things, and literally from day one, like meeting one of the bosses, it was kind of like, well, that doesn't impress me.
Yeah.
But it was like tongue on cheek.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was like, to me at the time, I was like, is she being serious right now?
Especially because you live here. Like,
Yeah.
That's very dry British humour.
Yeah.
And hers is at the extreme end of dry British humour.
Yeah.
And like, I thought I was dry, and then I met Sal and was like, oh, I've got my work cut out
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
And yet she's so tenacious and so willing to learn, and so willing to not take any shit. And like, Josh has just started with us, and like, you know, he's not a shrinking violet himself, but I see Sal playing with him, like just verbally toying with him, and then he fires back.
Yeah.
And then Ellie chips in with, like, Ellie's more like a quiet, considered type, but then says something devastating. And between the three of them, I'm like, oh, there's like the IP of this is incredible.
Yeah.
Like, when these guys realise they could build campaigns with this
Yeah.
dynamic, they'll be lethal.
Yeah.
Where
really
like
good.
Martha has all three of their personalities in one person, I think. She's kind of like,
Yeah.
which is why she's their boss. It's like, it's really interesting how she thinks about things from three different angles to get to the result. A little bit from self-doubt, which she won't mind me saying, but it's like a superpower where she goes, oh, what would Neil think? What would Joel think? What do I think? Oh, the right result's probably somewhere in the middle of
Yeah.
those three opinions. Oh, that's like,
Yeah.
that's really cool.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And for anybody listening, like, we're always hiring.
Yeah.
We're always hiring like crazy to try and keep up with things. So if by any chance you like the idea of a potential annual trip to
Well,
Orlando.
The other day you were like, 3 times a year. I was like, I hope he doesn't mean Codebreak.
Yeah, well, I'd like to do
The
it more than once
Economist
a
inside
year.
me came out. I
Yeah.
was like, well,
But-
actually, no. My mental health came out and went, I'm not sure I can do queuing for 3 times a year.
Yeah, but like, I mean, again, you can bring a little bit of an economist side into it, where especially for like the once per year, if we hire 50 additional people, we're only hiring 50 additional people because the business is in a phenomenal point. So the cost of bringing everybody here and Airbnbs and tickets and all of that jazz might genuinely be 100, 120 or 130 grand.
Yeah.
But again, it's because the business is in a
Exactly. When you
exceptional
look at it as
position.
£3 ahead,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like not that mad.
Yeah. Whereas most people would think, oh, well, it's okay now, but you couldn't do it when you have like a team of 50. It's like, no,
We'll build it in.
to be honest, when the team's a team of 50, we're probably going to be in a position where it feels less risky to take 50 people to Orlando.
Than just to take 4 or 5.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Let's leave it on that note, man. This has been a great session. And yeah, appreciate you.
You too, man.